And welcome back, everybody, to another awesome episode of The Careful Boys. And today we have a very special guest. Mr. Andy Nguyen is in the building, y'all.
Yay! And correct me if I'm wrong, if people don't know you, you are the empire builder of After's Ice Cream.
Love that place.
Yeah, that's what people like to call me.
Big fan.
But before After's Ice Cream, you were in the clothing industry, right?
Yep. I did a clothing brand called I'm King for 7 years before that.
Our paths crossed in the early 2000s when the whole like Asian YouTube world was barely coming up, and then I realized like there was a lot of Asian like dudes in the streetwear game that was doing dope shit, and in the early ages of YouTube, we didn't know anything about sponsorships and shit like that. So we went to this place called Orange County. You might have heard of it.
Orange County.
Specifically Santa Ana. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, all the way.
I was born there.
Are you?
No one cares.
So off camera,
Western Medical Center, specifically.
thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
So off camera, we were talking about like these different brands, and I just connected the dots. Like, oh shit, dude! Like, you were. So I named one of the companies I Am King, and you're like, that was me. And I'm like, that was you. That's so fucking dope. And then another.
He's like,
one,
I Am Queen was me.
Orisu, right?
Orisu, dude.
Because I remember that brand, because it sponsored our friends, fucking Far East Movement, shit like that.
Sponsored Quest Crew too.
Quest Crew.
Yeah.
And then we weren't officially sponsored, but all the stuff they couldn't sell, they gave to us. That was so sick. That was so amazing.
We actually worked really closely with Franco Shade.
Yeah, with Joe and Chris and everything.
Yeah, and they gave us all kinds of fucking gear, and then also a Triumvir, and they would give us
so
all
sick.
all kinds of gear too. And it was just crazy that like OC was kind of like the breeding ground of all these brands.
There's a video I got when we visited Triumvir, and then they had a box of like stuff they couldn't sell because there wasn't going on. And then you put it on. All you did was put on a fucking red jacket, and they sold out of it.
That's crazy.
Richard, which is the co-founder of Triumvir, we still work together to this day in Web3 right now.
I remember Richard.
no way.
Yeah. He's that tall Asian dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. That's
How so was I Am King the first business you started?
No, I dropped out at 19, and my best friends convinced me to become a real estate appraiser. And I had no idea what the hell. I didn't know what real estate. I didn't know what entrepreneurship meant, and I didn't know what real estate meant. The only thing was, I was already in probation in community college, and I was like, "Yo," my best friend was like, "Hey, let's go start our own company." I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, we're 18 years old. It's not possible." He goes, "Well, we just do what this guy's doing. I'm working for him right now. We'll just learn what he does and start our own brand." So we ended up starting a real estate appraisal company, and at an early age, I was learning how to make. We're making $300 to $3,000 a day.
So you're 18, 19?
Yeah, 19 years old when I dropped out. First dropped.
What do you
Just
need?
appraising homes.
Appraising homes.
What do you need to be like certified to do that?
Yeah, I take all the courses, take the real estate appraisal courses, and the appraisal test was one of the hardest real estate tests at that time.
Oh. What year was this?
This was 2003, 2004 when I was.
So the boom before the crash.
Yeah, and I think I officially got my license in 2005, but I left around 2008 at the time of the crash because all the regulations changed.
So how long did you run that for until?
About 3 years.
3 years. So 18, 19, you already had 7-figure business.
Technically around, depends on how you're spending it at the time, learning how to spend it.
Damn, you were balling at like 19, 20 already?
Well, I wasn't keeping that money wasn't going in my pocket. I was going back into the business and
That's
continue
dope,
building it.
dude.
And the bitches.
Wait, you just cycled back. So in an appraisal company, I'm interested. Like $3,000 a day, right? Like if you're making that money, what are your costs? Like to build
There's not really much cost at
Just
the time.
clipboards and
We didn't
pencils.
know how
Yeah,
to,
mostly.
We didn't know how to get the office.
clipboards and pencils.
We were working in my parents' garage at the time because I didn't know how to even get an office space, and at least I didn't know any of that.
Wow.
And had this real estate appraisal license and going out doing these files and looking like this and learning about business lingo, how to build a business, getting people to trust us to do it. And one of the loan officers we worked with happened to be Chris No. So Chris was a loan officer and he was giving me files and I was working back and forth with Chris. And
Chris the leverage, Chris, no?
and he was a loan.
He was in fucking real estate
Yeah, he was a
too?
loan officer.
What the fuck?
Why does that name sound familiar?
So he, when we worked at, so he's like a apparel manufacturing mogul now in the OC. But when we were working with Franco Shade, he was just the sales guy there.
Oh.
He left Sprinkle Shade and went to work under King as a sales rep at King.
So he's like now in the
Now he runs the apparel game. He's just
wow.
Like he has a giant big ass warehouse with like 30 different brands that go to like department stores and all kinds of crazy ass places.
Wow.
That's tight. So then what changed from doing that to clothing?
So Michael, who was the founder of Arisu, one day he had a different brand before Arisu called Accentuate, and he needed someone to be in the lookbook photo shoot, and he asked me to do it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Hell no. And he goes, I'll give you free clothes. I was like, hey, fine. What are you
Like to model in the lookbook?
To be in the lookbook. I was like, fine. And then after that, he's like, I need to get an office space, and I was like, do you want to get an office space together? So we ended up getting this tiny space, like probably like this size of the room, this part of the room right here. And he's doing his clothing thing, getting ready to start Arisu on one side, and I'm doing the real estate thing on the other side.
Whoa.
And you can see my attention span, just like, I was like, hey, he's not making money, but what he's doing is way cooler than what I'm doing. I'd rather be doing that.
Looks more fun, huh?
And I was like, hey, even though I'm making money, I'd rather be working in this clothing thing with you.
So then when did the real estate thing go like, you're gonna stop this and you're gonna go full on like clothing?
The crash changed everything because the banks started requiring appraisers to have to go. You have to work under banks and all these regulations. So you could already see that everyone stopped using us, and we're like, okay, well, we have to go full force into the clothing now and figure this out.
I see. Because it was like way harder now to be like a certified appraiser or whatever. Damn. So then out of force, you're just like, well, fuck it. And there's like all these houses that no one's buying anyway because of the crash. So then you're like, well, let's get into clothes.
We're just like teetering, like our foot one in the out in the other. So we're just doing both at the same time. As we were getting less and less files, we were just trying to ramp up the clothing side.
Oh, damn.
Specifically Arisu at that time.
I was already transitioning into King at that time.
And that's your brand.
Okay.
Like you made I Am King.
Yeah.
So first you partnered up with your buddy for Arisu?
So I worked for him. I just helped him as an.
Oh, okay.
And we're in the same office while I was doing my real estate thing.
Yeah.
So we're just in this one room.
And then you built your own brand, I Am King.
Is this 2008, 2009?
I started the I'm King brand in 2007.
2007. Oh, wow, okay.
That's when JK started. That's crazy.
2007?
Yeah.
That's when most like Asian shit started, like all the.
We weren't that serious though. We were
Not
2007?
serious either. Though.
Asians
trying
were
to figure
born
it
in
out.
2007.
They were invented.
Damn.
That's tight, dude.
What happened to I Am King?
So I'm King. We did that for 7 years. You know, we were selling to the Tilly Zoomies. You know, with
Metro Park, did it get in there?
Metro Park during our
shit,
trip.
that's
Metro Park actually
dope.
stiffed us for a huge check. Didn't pay for a large 6-figure order. And
Yeah, they filed Chapter 11.
Yeah, they were going through some shit, right? Jeez.
Being that early on and not getting that 6-figure check it hits you hard. And we're sitting with all this like product in the warehouse. Like, what do we do with this? And trying to figure it out.
How many brands were you a part of during that time?
I just owned that I'm King brand at that time. That's all I focused on for that time period. But you know, in apparel, you see brands come and go and trends like change so fast. And I think trying to chase that and being dictated by stores on how to design kind of turned me off after a while. You know, after you do it for so long, like, hey, I need to figure something else out. And as a streetwear brand owner, like, you learn so many different skills, right? You're not just designing now, you're marketing, branding, logistics, sales, shipping, storytelling, because everyone's blogging. Every brand had a blog. If you
Yeah. That was huge. Yeah.
I had to pretty much learn how
Bobby
to become a writer.
Hundreds, dude.
Yeah,
Bobby Hundreds, man.
He
Yeah.
made us like, Bobby's like, set the tone, like, hey, everyone has to learn how to be a writer now. I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to be a
remember
photographer
that.
and
That
writer.
motherfucker, man.
I know.
The thing is, Bobby is a writer. So he sets the bar really high because he's a fucking journalist, copywriter. And then so now he's fucking writing all beautifully and shit. And then he got everyone else that flunked out of school. It's like, fuck.
We're like, I did a Zanga before.
Buy my clothes because it's cool, dog.
I'm in. DAWG. Dog. Dog.
Pulled up to the streetwear event I wasn't invited to. Took some photos. Check it out.
Bobby's actually gonna come here soon.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I tried to copy your blogs.
Word for word. It's tight, man.
So what happened with I Am King? Did you end up selling it or you just like this?
I sold it a year after I launched After's Ice Cream. So I was doing both the same thing again, doing both at the same time. And the reason why I even went into so I have no background in food before that. I never worked a day in my life in food. I don't know how to cook to this day. I still don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm even here, but
I want to tag along your life.
since I was blogging a lot. I was blogging all the time. I pretty much had to figure out things to talk about. So I just kept writing about lunch all the time. Like, here, this is where we're eating at throughout Little Saigon. These are my top places I like to eat at. And then people started sending emails like, hey, that's the best places I've ever eaten. Yeah. So I just became this food discovery person over time.
That's tight.
On our IG
or on
through our blog. Through
your I Am King blog.
Yeah.
So it became more of a food blog.
Dang.
A lot of different stories, but food just became a hot topic on that page. And then as I started traveling and discovering more food, I started noticing like, hey, there's all these stores outside of Orange County that have amazing artisanal flavors, right? That's things I've never seen, but I was like, I didn't know you could turn these flavors into ice cream. So I was like, hey, well, this is not approachable to me. I'm just gonna draw some ideas that I have in my head and things that are flavors that I think I grew up with are more approachable and come up with this concept. So I kind of pitched.
What were some of the flavors you came up
Vietnamese
with?
coffee.
Vietnamese coffee is
That's one of our favorites. Hometown favorite. We love this one.
We did jasmine milk tea because I drink boba all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Oh, that's dope.
We did this Cookie Monster with the blue ice cream.
Yep.
Oh, I saw that one.
That was a delicious one.
So we made that became our number one flavor by far. But our partner who was working on it didn't want to make it blue. For the first week, he wouldn't even make it blue.
Why?
Because he's like, I don't think anyone's gonna eat blue ice cream. I'm like, I'm telling you, you need to make it blue.
That did hella make your mouth blue after you.
It's like the best, yeah.
But there's so many blue.
I just ate that at K-Town Night Market like a few weeks ago.
Dude, that one's hella bomb.
I ate there last week. How about that, dude?
Oh yeah, I'll eat there tomorrow.
All right, dude.
All right.
By my house.
Making it blue was like a genius move because
Yep.
it made it funny too.
Yep.
Like especially for kids.
Oh yeah.
Kids love that shit.
Especially for adults.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
Plus, you see someone on Instagram and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, what is
So
this?
when you go in, you're like, "I want the blue one that I saw."
that ties a lot into the stuff that we picked up from streetwear, right? Things looking good on camera, Instagram friendly, and we're a lot of those things that we're bringing into lifestyle into food, and no one was doing at that time. So that flavor ends up selling 10 times more than any other flavor to this day. Like,
And he was like, I don't want to make it blue.
for the first week he wouldn't make it blue. I was like, you need to make it blue. Like, yeah, that's it.
Can I ask how much you sold I Am King for?
Sold it for a mid six-figure mark at the time. Just to get out. Just to
Get out of it.
Just get out.
So they just bought all the inventory or whatever.
Yeah, they just took all the branding. They didn't take any of the inventory. We actually inventory we sold off already.
Was it a franchise or did you own all the shops?
For I'm King.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I mean, I was thinking about afters.
Yeah, I'm not saying about I Am King.
Oh, okay.
I'm King. So they just picked up pretty much the logo and the brand and stuff.
Like all the IP that has to do with it.
They're supposed to this day they still haven't done anything with it. So they just bought and just held on to it.
Was it like a
Dude, that happens
clothing
all the time,
conglomerate?
huh?
No, it's just a private group that wanted it. That thought they
Like a VC group?
Was it Karmaloop?
regular private like,
Karma loop.
like a private Asian group of friends of friends that we knew that they
What? They just bought it.
just bought it and then
Did nothing.
well they wanted me to come back and direct it for a year. I was like, okay, I'll help for a year, but then they couldn't get their team together, so I was like, forget it.
That's pretty common, huh? That like some Asian thing just buys your shit and just
They
sits.
don't do anything. Yeah, they still don't know what to do with it, or they don't know how.
I know there's major companies like my friend was a part of Black Flies. Remember that sunglass? And he was telling me like, yo, I don't know how they're keeping this afloat because it loses money every fucking year. And then I was like I thought that brand was a bunch of like white dudes that are skaters. They're like, nah, it's actually a Japanese company that owns it, and it's this massive conglomerate that's been around for like 100 years, right? And then like they just fucking buy businesses internationally. And he goes like, I think this is a wash. Like I think they just buy business for other reasons. Like they don't care about if it makes money. It's just the data or whatever it is. And I was like, damn,
They
dude.
do that with a lot of restaurant concepts too. In the from what I heard in the Middle East, they'll just buy it just to flex on each other, and then they'll put the signage up on the store, but they never open it. It just sits there.
When you're selling a company,
Yeah, that's dope.
do they find you or do you find them? The people that buy your company.
I think it's a little. I think over time it depends on where you're at. Like if you have the hot concept, everyone's reaching out to you.
Oh, so you're just getting offers through.
Yeah, everyone's like all the VC guys, all these private equity groups are just reaching out, trying to talk to you, trying to find out. You know, yeah.
Have you sold another company outside of I Am King?
I recently exited out of Afters. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just like about 2 months
Oh,
ago. So.
what for?
How much was that?
How much blue ice cream is that?
I'm living okay right now.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
My kids will be okay.
Damn. I want my kids to be okay too.
Were you sole or did you have a team?
For Afters,
Yeah.
there's 5 of us amongst the company.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of us. The reason being was, I started with 2 of my friends, one of my partners from I'm King, another person that I grew up with, and then the partners that we end up teaming with, they own the original ice cream shop before we came there. So they're like these two older white dudes.
So they're called After's Ice Cream.
No, they were called Lola's Ice Cream and Deli before.
Oh, and then so you bought the concept with them, or how did that?
Well, we were originally trying to buy them out because we're like, hey, you guys are open once every other week. Can we just like take over your store? We want to open this.
Wait, they're only open once every other week?
Yeah, they had money already. They're just
once every other week.
Yeah, they weren't
So they did it for fun.
He just did it for fun.
They did it for Lola.
Yeah, Lola's his grandma, so that's why he did. That's why.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, and then it took like 6 months to negotiate this deal, trying to convince these old white guys that we were gonna change the game.
But why this? Is it because they already had a network, or like you could have just started your own concept?
I think we were trying to keep the risk as low as possible because we didn't know the ice cream. We didn't know the.
So you wanted partners that knew what they were doing.
We didn't team up with them for that. We teamed up with them because they knew they're like, we still want to make ice cream, and we're like, I don't want to make ice cream. Like, I don't know how to do it. It's not what I'm not. That's not my expertise. You figure this out. I'll just tell you what I'm looking for, what I want, and you create it.
And that's the guy that didn't want to make it blue?
Yeah.
Well, they're old, you said.
Yeah, they're old.
I'm not making that ice cream blue.
We gotta make it white.
What's the how did you guys come up with the After's name?
The After's name. We're looking for a dessert term. We found this term like in some parts of Europe they call it like after a meal, like dessert. Like the word after is like after anything, after eating out, after. So we just named it After's ice cream.
Oh, that's nice.
What about the branding? Because it's like it's all black and like sleek looking, so it's almost like anti what you would think appetizing, but it works so good.
Yeah, so we actually picked that up from the elements of streetwear all over again. At that time period was street goth was popular, right? Kanye, all black, leathers, us following the East Saint Laurent stores, the Apple stores, minimalism. So that's why we try to keep that look. We have like a lot of black walls with like funny quotes on it. Like our first store had Gucci Mane loves afters, and we put that on there because it had the ice cream.
Oh yeah.
At the time, so we're like, hey, he's not gonna do anything. He was in jail.
But
He's all, damn you, Angie!
Change the sign. Yeah.
that's funny.
Use it while he's in jail. That's fucking funny, dude. Just Martha Stewart loves this.
Is After's?
El Chapo loves it.
Was it a franchise?
No, we
It was all privately owned.
all privately owned.
Wow, all of them? And how many?
We built that first location, or what we turned it around for like using like 15 grand.
How many locations do you guys have?
Holy.
How many? There's 27, 28 locations.
Ooh,
And
all
how many-
California, or
So most in Southern California, and then one in Las Vegas.
And how many mobile operations are there?
There's 3 trucks that run.
wow. See, I know one. It's a cool
sick.
location, but it's never open in Pasadena. It looks like an old dairy or gas
Kills
station.
that location. Kills.
Nah, it's always open, dude.
Kills it.
Is it?
That's by my crib, dog.
That's where he goes. That's his local one.
I was like, when are they gonna open? And then maybe it's the time I'm there.
It's always packed too.
Really?
Is that Alhambra one still open?
Main Street's still open.
Main Street?
Yeah.
We fucking shut that blog down on
Oh
the
my
collab.
God, we shut that down.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, you guys had a
Yeah,
collab.
that's right.
How did that come?
Cops had to pull up and stuff like that. And there was like over
The
1,000.
helicopter.
Yeah, there was like
Helicopters like
1,000.
What?
And stop the fucking.
What was it, like a Kinja's
The King
Afters?
Just Afters
It was a
collab.
grand opening after, so I think that was already a huge buzz, right? Everybody on Main Street. It's fucking Main Street.
Who put that together? That was a good idea.
So they already had the store grand opening, and then I think we were in talks with him, with Ben, because I know that you're close with Ben. So we were talking for a long time about trying to figure something out, and then when the Main Street location was about to open up, that just made the most sense. And once everything started to come together, you know, we created the flavor. We had our boy Chef Rob. Rob came in.
Oh,
to
Chef
help
Rob.
us with the flavor and stuff like
Yeah, there was
that.
like a Kinja's flavor, right?
Yeah, it was a Kinja's flavor.
Like black sesame flavor.
Black sesame. Thank you.
Because I support it.
Thank
I
you.
forgot that right. I was like, what flavor was
Black
that?
sesames with the crispies on it.
I've eaten
What if
that.
there was just like a Mike Song flavor?
Put Mike's nuts in your mouth, dude. But no, it sold out. We had a t-shirt capsule and a hat as well. That all sold out.
Dude, that was
I
dope.
didn't buy the other stuff. I just bought that.
Timing was perfect though, because it was right after you guys finished the show.
Yeah, the timing was crazy.
I was gonna come by and then I heard it was still packed. I was like, I'm
It
like,
was like, it wasn't, you know, the long lines. It was like long and thick and all the way down, wrapped around the corners.
It wrapped on the block, and I was like, I didn't know that like cops would actually pull up to this thinking that it was like a
Where they come in like, we're like,
You want to show support?
They're coming by, they're like, where's the blue one?
they just light up and start doing the.
We didn't have, I don't think any of us had the expectation of being like that. Because we had to push back the performance, like,
Yeah.
we're like, hey, do we just do it in the middle of the street now? It's too crazy.
that's great. You guys performed at the store?
Yeah, just a couple guys had to like fucking move a small little crowd, and then everybody's literally just freestyling. The video's still up, and it's just
That's tight.
and shit.
I just remember I text Ben. I was like, "Hey, you guys need to get here because it's getting crazy and there's helicopters flying around right now."
That's dope,
They're
man.
freaking. The city was freaking. They didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Dude, you know, we recently did we did a JustKiddingNews on this NFT restaurant, and then I was like, I'm gonna go visit it, right? And it was so crazy because like I didn't know. So your partner Kevin, we're friends, and I had no idea that was his place too. Yeah, because he doesn't like. I mean, like, you know, like Kevin's just like, just doing his thing with food and shit. Like, he's not like a big, like, look at my shit, you know? He's so humble, right? So I saw him at a plaza one day, and he goes, oh, yeah, that's, you should come to my shop. And I'm like, your shop? He goes, yeah, it's an NFT shop. And I'm like, that's yours? And then so I find out that you two are involved with it, and I see like I click the page, I check it out. Snoop Dogg's there. I'm like, what the fuck is all of this going on?
Snoop Dogg's there.
And I went and did a food review there. It was fucking delicious. It was pretty cool. It was like McDonald's and In-N-Out had a baby. That's how it kind of tastes like. Yeah. But yeah, man, is that your like main project right now? The NFTs and the restaurant?
Yeah, we're trying to save the restaurant industry and a lot of things that we learned in the last year and how to implement a lot of new this blockchain technology into what we're doing.
That sounds crazy. You just said save the restaurant industry. What does that mean?
What I learned through last year was last September during the pandemic when everyone was still getting free money, right? I thought. When you were going out, you saw now hiring signs everywhere.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm in the hospitality business, and I can't even provide good service to the customer anymore. This is, I don't want to do this for the next, but there's no way I can continue to do this if this is going to happen. And September hit, I was like, hey, everyone's going to have to start applying for jobs and working again. September hits, it gets even worse. Yeah. I was like, man,
people are working.
This sucks. This is not what I want to do. I was like, hey, I need to figure out how to get an influx of money so I can really like do cool shit. I was like, I've always done things bottlenecked because the budget's always been super tight. But if I could have a little bit more flexibility, I'd go crazy. And I started learning about like how people raise money in tech. And in tech, you have these tech investors who go, hey, I'm gonna throw hundreds of $1 millions at 10 different companies. If 9 of them fail, they're like, whatever. Can't do that.
Fuck.
I was like, there's no way you can do that in a restaurant. There's no way unless I start doing like an app already. I was like, I don't want to do an app. I don't like raising money. It's not my thing. Let me figure something out. And then Kevin comes to me and goes, you can do everything that you want to do with NFTs. That's what I think you can do. And I was like, what are you talking about? And once I started going down this rabbit hole of this Web3 thing, I learned about community, brand building, marketing. I was like, I'm already doing that in the physical space. But now if I bring this to the digital space, like, some crazy things that happen.
Yeah.
And that's, seeing what Gary Vee did with his Fly Fish restaurant, I was like, dude, this guy just raised $21 million for a restaurant in New York and it's not even open yet.
That's not fair, man.
That's not fair, man.
Just a little bit of that.
But now
You don't even want to start a restaurant. That's
but
not
in terms
fair.
of like safety,
like you're competing.
Gary's restaurant, he can open the best real estate, the best build out. He can overpay his staff and not even serve a single dish and still be just fine.
Profitable.
Yeah, just
Damn.
Because he already has the money.
If I get that and I'm raising through customers and building brand community, if I can do that through this space, then, and if I can I'm the guinea pig, and I take the lead and this works out, it's going to change it for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's being funded by Bored Ape and like NFTs?
No, so that's just part of it. Our Food Fighters NFT is another project that connects to it.
Oh.
When we started this Bored and Hungry thing, it was just to make a statement. It was only supposed to be a pop-up for 90 days.
Oh,
We did
okay.
that because, we didn't. Web3 they're very sensitive in this world, right? There's so much money involved. Like there's a lot of scams going on. So we created Bored and Hungry because we wanted to, if we jump into NFTs, I don't want to just walk in the industry. People are gonna be like, "Fuck that, Andy! You already make money. Why are you coming into our industry?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna provide a gift to you guys. I'm gonna build an in real life experience because everyone's always talking about like, can you do something in real life with these NFTs?" And Bored Ape was the most popular thing at the time. Everyone in the world and our celebrity was getting one every other week. You saw it, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go buy this thing. I'm gonna buy this thing, and I know what I learned is you can use the IP and you can put it on whatever you want.
Anything, yeah.
You don't have to pay any royalty, and you don't have to ask any approvals. And I already,
Because it's yours.
fortunately, I know about how to utilize IP already because I've done a lot of brand collaborations. It's like pretty much saying like if I bought a Nike shoe and now I can go open a Nike restaurant. You know how valuable that is. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that with this Bored Ape thing.
So how does your restaurant work? Is it like,
You eat monkeys.
like do you have the Bored Ape, and then do other people have to own it or have a piece of it to eat at the restaurant, or how?
No, so we were using a lot of the the characters to put on the store and packaging to build a brand out of the IP.
Yeah.
But you can also pay in crypto payments, which no one's really doing. So you can accept Ethereum and ApeCoin. We're the first business to accept ApeCoin. Period.
Yeah.
Even Bored Ape wasn't even doing that. They didn't even know what to do with that yet. So they were calling us like, "Hey, how'd you guys do that?"
Whoa.
Yeah. So and then
So you're helping the whole industry by being like early adopters, and then trying to get people to utilize it for like all that.
Absolutely. And then if you're an ape holder in the grand opening day, if you were a holder you had your own ape, if we verified it, then you got a free meal that day. And, so different perks that you can play with. And,
What's your IQ? Like 500?
Yeah, seriously. Sounds ridiculous.
I got kicked out of high school. I was failing all my classes in high school. I was probation college. No.
Oh my god.
Academics is definitely not my thing.
That's fucking dope, man. That's dope.
so cool.
And sometimes people just need to have a good enough idea, but the more so the balls to get out there. And I feel like Andy does a great job of like just getting in front of like the pack. You know what I mean?
That's tight. That's a big ball.
And sometimes it's not about like, damn, that's a brilliant idea. Sometimes it's like, damn, that's an idea maybe somebody could have thought of, but didn't have the ability to do it.
And pull the trigger on it. Yeah.
Front runner of that kind of stuff. So that's dope, man. Congrats,
The
dude.
Asian thing is trying to be first in the Asian community.
Wait, before we stop, can we talk about Food Fighters Universe?
Okay, Food Fighters Universe is our NFT project. So we are the first NFT-backed restaurant group. That's what we start. We're trying to open a lot of different restaurant concepts within the NFTs the money that we raise. But we're always trying to do cooler concepts and also be able to help people that want to start up their own restaurants. Like some people, like they spend tons of money going to restaurant school, right, culinary school, and they come out thinking, I'm gonna go open my own amazing restaurant, but they end up working in these kitchens and they're just chopping salad up, doing salad for like 3-4 years, and they're like, what did I sign up for? But
That's what you get, motherfucker.
And they're on Kitchen Nightmares.
exactly going
We
through
heard
that.
culinary school's a scam, but
Go chop some cabbage.
But we're around so much talent, and we do have a platform and voice that we can help help people launch their careers.
That's fucking cool, man.
That's tight,
Really
dude.
cool.
We're into food too, but this video's about you.